Hello and welcome back to Good Storms Games. I'm playing some From the Depths. I'm building a really goofy. I'm gonna build a really goofy ship. Right now, I'm just kind of setting out some stuff. I'm primarily using a lot of stone because I don't know why. I'm just obsessed with stone. Maybe because I want to be like nah to anything that's EMP. Just be like meh, whatever. It's EMP. I don't care. It's only 15%. Wait, no, that's 1%, 5%, 15%. It's the same as wood, but it has more hit points and armor and stuff. So, it's fairly effective against EMP. Uh, this ship's probably going to be a bit bigger than I'm used to. Just by the size of this little surround thing I'm making here. Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be like that. Okay, there's the bottom. There's the top. Uh, Real quick, does this float? Yes. It floats. Now, the funny thing about this thing is, well, I got a really weird armor setup here. So I have a air pump in here. There's a gun's gonna go in here. I've got heavy armor. I reduced the size of the heavy armor, so it does really weird things. If I remove this, AC 25 there, if I look around different places, it has different armor ratings because uh man, is it calculated based off of like the portion of I don't know how it calculates it, but the different angles and the amount of material that's there, there's a lot of math going on to having these weird wedgy doodads. So it increases the armor a bit, and also they have quite a bit of health compared to, like they have double the health compared to the stone in front of them. So like that's a huge difference. Plus, there's also this armor, the applique, which has quite a bit of armor. Not as much as stone beam. No, I'm looking for no. Let's go up a bit. Can we? Heavy armor. Heavy armor has 60 AC, so like it has a lot more AC. There's a lot less of it. I believe it's about a third. This kind of triangle shape, I would assume. Well, less than a third, I think. Health. There's probably math involved and geometry and how much percentage it is compared to the other things, just so that it's fair and you can't cheat away by having tiny little bitty bits. From the Depths has been pretty good at balancing a lot of armor and making it really good. Now the funny part is, you see me using a bunch of these trusses. Trusses are a weird block. You can see that the relative buoyancy is 0.08. And it has a weight of 3. So it doesn't weigh much. But it doesn't have a lot of buoyancy, relative buoyancy, right? Uh, that said, um, it's considered an empty space. I think has 3.8. Empty space has 37.5. So this is weird. It has a plus 3.8 or something. That's a negative 1.7. This is 32. Empty space has 37.5. So this weirdness, I think, means that it ends up being plus 3 when you add a little air pump into it, but also this whole space here where the gun's going to go is going to be buoyant. So it's kind of fun. You can use truss blocks because they do have health and they do have armor, quite a bit of armor. They have 30, which is the same as, well, almost a little bit less than light armor or lightweight alloy. It doesn't have a lot of health. 100. It has less health than wood. and it's twice as expensive. But you get a lot of armor, not a lot of weight. And you can also fill it with air. So they're considered air blocks. If you didn't know that, trusses are considered air blocks. You want to know something else is considered air blocks? It's really kind of weird. Let's go into decorations. So this bad boy, let's go to here. Now these are fun. Alloy bulkheads, doors. You want to make a real floaty ship? You're going to get a bunch of these, and you're going to add a whole whack ton of, like, you're just going to have a bunch of these bulkhead doors, and you're going to just have them wide open. They have a bunch of health, they have a bunch of armor, they don't weigh a lot. You get plus 50 for one of these. You can use these, but they don't have as much health. But these things, they cost quite a bit. Let's look at blocks here. So they're a tiny bit more than a metal beam, right? The alloy metal beam, tiny bit more, has tiny bit less health, does not have the structural armor boost or the extra. Well, it doesn't really have. It does have extra health, but if you look at the decorations here, you have a bunch of these metal bulkhead doors. You could put a whole bunch of these on a ship and make it super floaty. And the cool part about these, if you do this, they are now open space, as well as being floaty, I believe. Actually, if I close these, does it float different? Open and open. It should change the buoyancy somewhat. Well, anyways, but they're considered open space now, which means you can essentially, you can go in here, you can use a helium pump with a bunch of open doors, and increase the buoyancy by a whack ton. Or you can just, make it a little bit better with an air pump. If I just, yeah. So you see how it's leaking everywhere? So it considers that an open space. And that's kind of funny. Now we'll just quickly block this off here. Boop, boop, boop. Right, it's blocked off. Get rid of that. There, no more leaks. So total buoyancy is 4. Let's close that. Now it's 2. 2 meters cubed. Yeah. And the fun part about bulkhead doors is, I believe, let's look at ACBs just for fun. ACBs. So this is some cheesy stuff that if you are worried about buoyancy of any sort, especially airships, can be super handy. Let's see. We're gonna condition. Let's see. Condition miscellaneous. Takes damage, fuel, material quantity. There's health. No. Closest subconstruct health. So that could be. Maybe you could use that to do it. There should be like a. Is there a block gets destroyed thing? I don't know. Anyways, there's probably some Lua stuff you can do to make the doors shut in case the chamber ahead of it gets flooded. You can shut the door. You still have flotation. Pitch, altitude over to sea terrain, pitch command, roll command. Yeah. It's hard to say. Target actions. Yeah, so can we target buoyancy? No. AI, moving parts. doors. You can target doors. You can target doors with ACBs, which means you can operate those doors to. Oh, I guess it could be. Let's see. The basically the location of ACB below water. So if it starts to sink in one direction, it can shut it off and pump out the water, regain its altitude or its pitch or whatever. Yaw, blah 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 things. Condition bearing triggers when detected. No, not enemy. Target control. Roll command. Yaw command. Vehicle attitude. That's what I'm looking for. So roll, and you can do pitch. I'm assuming you can also do this with. I think this would be easier with a breadboard, but I'm not 100% certain. I'm not sure if you can attach a breadboard to an ACB. Let me look. Let me look. We're finding stuff out. We're building stuff. We're learning at the same time, and it's a lot of fun. ACB control can control several ACBs. Non-AI breadboard. Let's look through this. Breadboards have gotten updated like crazy. Like, you can do so much with breadboards. They're a lot of fun if you know what you're doing. New component inventory. Link sub object. Animate link edit. Link limb. Animate body. So these animate things are fun. You can have animated little, like, you know, those little movable guys. You can animate them using a breadboard, which is that's a lot of coding stuff. If you know how to do it, it's great, but it's not that simple. It would be nice to have a sub menu where you could actually like just click and drag and control and stuff around, but that'd be years down the road if they decide to implement that. So complex controls, multiply, evaluate, accumulator, drives, link sub object, link animate edit. Yeah, I don't see anything in here that would link to the vehicle event cram fire, event block lost. Maybe. Yeah. So continuous laser fire, pulse laser fire, 8 PS, missiles fire, cram fire. Player patrol order received. A project has been noticed. A projectile has been noticed. Vehicle health fraction. Enemy materials destroyed. Materials sent. Material received. Energy sent. Energy received. Target spotted. Target dead. Missile reloaded. Okay, so nothing. There's nothing in there that we could use for this. Switch. Just. Oh, well, actually, now that I think of it, you could link. So, event block loss. Oh, that's all in total. So that's no. Let's delete that. Delete component. Flagship info. Price existence distance altitude of this fleet's flagship. That could be useful for controlling ships, like keeping them in formations could be super useful using that flagship command. Yeah, okay. Anyways, back to the ACB. So there's a door. So target action, doors. We can open and we can close. So We can close door. And the condition when you can change the, you can have it so if the pitch or the roll is a certain amount, you can have that side of door or that area of doors shut, blocking off the water, and potentially floating the ship back upright. Now, the other thing you would have to do is also have your pumps set up with roll and pitch functions so that they're functioning at their fullest when the door is shut. So you can essentially make a water mitigation system using the ACBs, the air pumps, and bulkhead doors. And you can have a lot of bulkhead doors if you want a lot of flotation. You just have to have some way of closing them when you take water in. So they can be extremely cheesy for floating your ships because they don't count as they have a buoyancy. Can you open? Open? Can oh. 1 second. I gotta get rid of that first. Anyways, yeah, you can open them. Now it's open, and if we look at, oh gosh, let's just do that. There we go. Now we can see. Can we see? There we go. So the air pump has 4, close, has 2. 2 cubic meters, right? So you can increase, decrease the buoyancy based off of whether the doors are open. And if you close the doors, they should count as separate rooms. Doors are a little buggy. When you close them, sometimes the pumps don't realize that they're closed and won't function properly. That is the thing. But yeah, so I don't think the buoyancy changes on these. Let's see. Let's make it. Let's make us a new. There we go. A new object. Let's test this. Let's test this real quick. Let's find out if this works the way I think it does. We'll put and let's put 2 blocks like so. We're going to use what's a relative buoyancy is smaller. Boom, 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 boom. And done. And we'll put we'll use lead, I guess, to check the buoyancy once we figure that out. Boop, like that. Okay, so it floats. This little brick thing, those 2 blocks float that. That's fine. We're going to go to water. Boom, air pump. For some reason, I don't think they need to be powered anymore. They just work. All right. Let's see. Door. We're going to use alloy. Put the alloy door in. So let's see. Lead. Just let's see if we can sink it with 1 lead block. 2 lead blocks. 2 lead blocks sinks it. Okay. Now if we open the door, it seems to be neutral. Yeah, it's sinking very slowly. Okay. Alright, let's remove that. Let's see. Let's close this door again. It's going to keep rising up to the surface. There we go. Rises up to the surface. Let's find... Okay, sinks. This one. Does it sync with that? Very, very slowly it sinks. I think it's basically neutral. It'd be nice if the mass numbers would just be somewhere when you're building, so you know the buoyancy and the mass of your vehicle. Like, it'd be nice if those were positioned, but also their numbers somehow, so you could tell how much buoyancy you have compared to how much mass you have. That'd be cool. Okay. So, barely floats. Or barely sinks. Okay. Let's do the door open. With the door open, we put another thing in. And it's not sinking. It's not sinking, guys. It's not sinking. Put another one in? No, she's sinking. I think. Oh no, she's still not sinking. She's still floating. Just the waves. So, there you go. You can float more with a door and some pumps. So if you need a lot of flotation, just a bunch of open doors with pumps. And then if it gets breached, you can close the doors. And you also have armor. So they're kind of cheesy. They're a cheesy flotation, like floating for airships and ships in general, and armor. So they're handy. They have a bunch of health. I assume shells can go through the open door, but maybe not. That's not something that I'm going to test. Someone else can test whether or not shells can go through an open door. But yeah, I'll test this. This is easy. Just a little bit of buoyancy. So those are two blocks. You have a truss block. If we put just a truss block in here, it's going to be a little bit different. Bunk. There we go. That's gone. Oh, it's sinking. It's sinking quite fast. I think. Yeah, it's sinking. It's still affected by the waves a little, but yeah, it's sinking. So yeah, let's put a truss block in. That should help improve the buoyancy. Yeah, so by some sort of magic, you get extra buoyancy by having an open door in there or a truss block. We'll remove this thing. Remember, with the door closed, this basically syncs with just that. So, oh, we're gonna have to go all the way to. Okay, it's starting to float, ish, kind of. Okay, but I think this isn't as efficient. I think these things are fixed, more or less. So empty space is plus 7.5. I believe that's saying that the empty space in the truss block, you only get a plus 7.5 to its buoyancy. Which kind of is annoying. Oh, it is floating. It is floating. Okay. Let's. Okay. Decorations. That has a buoyancy. How about this bad boy? This thing has a negative. Yeah, we're just fiddling around with this. So negative, which means I believe it's sinking. That would be sinking. Okay, and then if we open it up, it shall slowly rise to the surface. So, the truss blocks aren't as good as, say, a metal bulkhead door open, but it's also, you don't need any fangly dangly gizmos in order to make it function. It's just always there. It has a little bit of health, and it's a heck of a lot cheaper than a door. Doors are not cheap. Uh, like this is on scale of wood, and I believe this floats. Does it float better than wood? I doubt it. I doubt it floats better than wood. What's the mass? This is 9 blocks. Wait, 20. What? Okay, let's see. Let's just, if I put just a simple wooden block in there, does it sink? Or does it float? Questions must be answered. It seems fairly non-buoyant, or fairly buoyant. Okay, so yeah, so truss blocks, for some reason, not more buoyant than water when filled with air. I don't think. Well, there's a truss block. It also floats. Okay, back to our test. Lead. Nope. Does it sink? Does it sink? It looks like it might be trying, and then if you go to wood, and we replace that block with wood. You know, I was going to build a ship, but now we're just testing buoyancy things. Weird buoyancy stuff. Oh, it sinks with wood. Okay, so the trussel is, when filled with air, is more buoyant than wood. That's good to know. That's very good to know. So that's working as intended, I assume, because just open air has more buoyancy. The one problem is wood. Wood is watertight. Truss blocks are definitely not watertight. If the outer membrane of a truss block thing breaks, it leaks. That's always something to note. Wait. What's in there? Nothing? There's nothing in there. Is it still not floating? It's still sinking. Okay. Well. Let's remove. Nope. Wrong thing to remove. Let's do that. There we go. Okay. Now it should rise up to the surface. Let's just make it go quicker. There we go. Bloop. So one block, and it's floating, just empty. Okay. If we put that in, does it sink? It sinks. It's sinking. That looks like sinking to me. It's hard to tell with the ocean moving. Okay, that's sinking. And with a wooden block. Boom. Wooden block, it's floating. Floating? Floating. It's floating. Wooden block, it's floating. Okay. Yeah, this is confusing. So it should be 4 meters. Yep. No, that looks like it's floating. Let's look at altitude. Altitude. 3 meters. 3 meters. -2. -1. 0. Okay. Yeah. Okay. It's not sinking. So both of those, your float, perfectly fine. Let's use a small metal piece. because they weigh a little bit less. Monk? Actually, oh, those both have buoyancy. This has buoyancy. Sure, this does not have buoyancy. Just let's see how many. One. -4. I haven't been -4 before. Is it sinking now? Another one. That seems like it's sinking. That's 7, 6, 5. Might not be. No, it's still floating. Okay. Super scientific, guys. Just keep adding little blocks on there till it works. Oh gosh. Is stone slightly buoyant? Is that what's going on? I guess to a certain depth and it floats. That's what it seems like. Oh gosh. That. Oh gosh. Why? Why does the stone float? Okay. Okay, I'm done with that. I'm so done with that. Okay, air. Let's look at air. Let's do this. Helium pumps. Helium pumps are fun. Overwater buoyancy, underwater buoyancy. 3 meters squared. Anyways, let's remove this and see if it flies. Yeah, no, almost flies. Doesn't quite fly. Yeah. Instead of stone, that's weight 40. That's weight 40. Let's just throw some wood. Replace some wood. Some beams with wood. Now do you fly? Helium pump, are you working? It's flooded. Oh, because of now threes. Threes? Is that working now? Are you flooded? Yeah, you shouldn't be flooded. Let me do that. Oh, that's why. Yeah, I do some silly things sometimes. I'm not always the smartest. Okay. Okay. Is it light enough now? Can you float? Are you gonna float? Come on, fly. Fly! Let's just use some alloy plates then. Alloy plates with this. Hopefully you didn't hear my doggo barking. Because he's a loud goober. This is so weird. I'm trying to make it fly. Lightweight alloy blocks. I think these have a weight of 1 exactly. So which means they're super light. If you need to make something fly, there we go. It's flying. It's flying, guys. It's flying. Let's see. Now, the helium pump, 4 meters cubed. Buoyancy, over water buoyancy. Not sure what that means, but it will fly up into the sky uncontrollably, and because of wind it tumbles around like nobody's business. Airfoil, control surface, just air rudder, maybe. Just give it some. It will stabilize now. kind of. Wait, 2.5. Wait. That has 10, 2.5. That has 3. Slightly more than the air rudder. Yeah, there's not a lot of things. So you would think these would also count as open space for the helium blocks. No. There's very few things that count as open blocks for the air pump. Like, even if I throw some applique armor in here, you will see this currently has 3. Now it has 2. Right? Whereas before, it had 4 meters of overwater buoyancy. So there's a lot of things that don't. Like, these things, you would think if they're inside something, they would count. But they have to be leaky blocks. And a lot of things you don't want to be leaky blocks. One of those things being anything that you're using in a structure. And it does a simple calculation. Is it a leaky block? Yes, then it leaks air. If it doesn't, then no. Doors are weird because they're toggleable. They can leak and they cannot leak. And occasionally they glitch out and they leak even though they're closed. I know this for a fact. It happened to me a few times. Or it will glitch out the pumps, thinking that they're still in a room with the other pump and not working. And then all of a sudden you have this like dead weight that just falls out of the sky. It's weird. Zeppelins are weird. I only know this because I've made so many airships in my sales only campaign that I was trying to do. You had to do sales zeppelins because they're the only thing that could travel fast enough and not get stuck sailing straight into the wind and not going anywhere. For the most part, kind of. And also they're basically, yeah, the sail zeppelins are basically the only thing that's viable in that, because you could control their altitude and dodge things that way. And whereas in the water you're just too slow. You can control your altitude. At least you have some dodging capabilities besides the movement. In the water, you basically just are a sitting duck. You can only go like 27 kilometers per hour. I mean, you could go faster, but the sails are so vulnerable. Like, the sail blocks themselves are so vulnerable that they just get destroyed. And unless you have them a whole bunch stacked in there, and like, if you happen to go against the wind for some reason, you're dead in the water, which is very difficult. In the air, at least you can go up and down and dodge stuff still. Sail only neater is a sail zeppelins. That's all I can say about that. If you want to do sail neater, sail zeppelins. It's the only way to go, and it's still very difficult because you're gonna need some really good anti-munitions defenses to do sail only neater, as far as I can tell. I'm not that good at the game either, so. Right. Let's delete this vehicle. Delete. And delete. Alright, back to this. I was building a ship. I had to explain this thing. This weird armor scheme. That's all this was me explaining this armor scheme and then testing some things. Because, yeah, the most buoyant block in the game is an open door in helium. That's all the information you need to know. Open alloy door in helium. Because it's going to be super buoyant for some weird game physics reasons. Yeah. The next most buoyant thing, I believe, would be an open standard door. Weight 40. Yeah. The standard door. Next thing would be the pipes, then the bulkhead door, I would believe. Well, I mean, you could also use these things. These things are quite pointy too, the alloy hatches. Uh, I don't know why you'd want to use them. I guess it's a single block, but if you know you need to find some spaces, um, if you want to make a really heavily armored submarine that has ballast tanks, you could use a bunch of alloy doors or heck armored doors because you can all of a sudden have negative buoyancy and just go wee and sink down using some ACBs. Yeah. So, all right, let's get back to building. Sub object mode. Where's is this? No, this this is a turret I was building. Uh, this is not the turret I'm putting in here. It's goofy. This is my I don't know. This is just a monstrosity, and eventually I might build a boat with it. Let me resave selected subobject as face. Just face. Okay. Now let's go simple cramps around because this is the one that's meant to be in here. This is made of metal. So this whole thing floats. I made sure that this float. I have a test bench with all the armor, the ERA on this thing, the stone. This thing's pretty much intense. Does this thing have a control AI on it? I don't think it does, so we could put the AI underneath. Let's make sure it's in the center. That looks centered. Yeah, so this has a bunch of ERA. All sorts of stuff. Let's just leave it up. We know it floats. It's fine. We can leave it there. Yeah, so this is going to be a 4 of these guns, I think. They have a fairly good reload speed. Well, quite a good reload speed. They're not very large diameter. And they're also just kinetic heat. Or the kinetic whatever. Let's just go to crams. What does the fuse box do? If I just place this down. Okay. Now if I put a fuse box down. Fuse box? No? Okay. Firing piece. Now. Penetration depth fuses, time from first impact, time to launch, low altitude, high altitude. So you can't do heat. Or you can kind of do HESH. But not really. No, you can't do HESH. You can do hollow point with crams. You can't do heat or HESH. Those are advanced cannon stuff. So if you're going to do advanced cannons, you might as well do heat and HESH because cram cannons will do everything else, kinetic and stuff, for cheaper. Not necessarily better, because you can do like high velocity rounds out of advanced cannons, and those high velocity rounds can be very effective, depending. But yeah, these just do more damage. Cram cannons do. Reloads are usually really slow. So 4.8 seconds. So the lowest you can go is around 3 seconds for reload speed for cram cannons. Minimum 3 seconds. You can't go any lower, which is kind of annoying. I wanted a rapid firing cram cannon. It would have been a lot of fun, but I guess they got rid of those for whatever reason. And I'm too lazy to try and make one that fires rapidly by like having multiple barrels. It's just a big headache trying to do that. So shell speed is reduced because I have a recoil absorber and a muzzle suppressor. Weird thing with crams is that they become more accurate with slower speeds, sort of. They tend to steer. At least for high altitude ones. I'm not sure about low altitude ones. There's probably some sort of calculation for that. I like 60 meter per second mortars because they will follow the target. Well, 60-50, somewhere in between there. They will follow the target. If you have a big bank of mortars, I like to have them all at different firing or shell speeds by like 10, and just like a variety of them. If you have like 6 of them, you start at 50 and work your way up. That way you have shells that steer really good but don't have very far range, and you have some that have farther range but don't necessarily steer very well, and that way you're more liable to hit your target. Um, and it's kind of fun to watch them because zoom in at like in a line. And also you end up with like staggered fire and stuff, which is kind of useful. Although Alpha Strikes might be better. It's hard to say. You can have a lot of volume of fire where you like hope your shells get through their defenses, or you can have uh, overwhelmingly like overwhelming Alpha Strikes, which a lot will get through, but then you have to have slower firing speeds. Potentially. I mean, you could design everything so they have the same reload as, say, like your missile barrage. You can have all your weapons firing at the same time, and they just alpha strike everything. Uh, you're gonna need some good defenses for sure, though. Okay, back to building. What was building? I can't build and talk apparently. It's bad for the YouTubes if you can't build and talk. Okay. So I want another one of these things. I really forget how wide these things are. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. It's 5. Let's get the middle. Let's go there. Boom. 5. So let's go 1, 2. So we're gonna go 1, 2. Let's go 3 there. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And then we're gonna build the stone platform for the gun. This is gonna be a big ship. Oh gosh. Well, big for me. I'm not used to building. Most of my ships are about the size of this gun, to be honest. Like this one gun. Oh, this says ERA on it on all sides and surrounded by metal. So this thing has the interesting defense. It should be fairly durable, except for the turret cap. The turret cap's not that durable. I was very lazy with it. It's tiny. But you know, it's got a bunch of metal. Hopefully, it doesn't get hit by any sort of EMP directly to the turret cap. I doubt it will get hit by EMP. There's not really that, like, it's a very small target compared to everything else, so it's probably not gonna get hit. All right, so we need prefab mode. Yeah, let's grab that guy. Yeah. Why did this look like it's? Oh no, it is on the edge. Yeah, okay. We place that right there. Cut chunk. Advance. Sub-object mode. Simple cram. We're gonna stick that in there. The other thing is its neck isn't very well protected. Oh, hello. Maybe I should center these things. There we go. And prefab mode. There we go. I don't know what other weapons I want on this ship, but those are going to be my 2 main guns. On the front, I guess. Could I have main guns on the back too? The circular? Should we have it be a circular? That might be a good idea. Let's see if it still floats. She floats kind of crooked, which is kind of to be expected. Alright. Yeah. You'll notice in a lot of the a lot of builds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6. Make it even for fun. And then we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Deepwater Guard has a lot of builds that utilize air pumps in kind of unique ways. Also, helium pumps. They like to put that superstructure. If they have a superstructure in the middle or on the top, they'll often put helium pumps in there to help stabilize it because you want extra buoyancy on those top things. It'd be great if you could do that in real life. Honestly, if you could put helium into the top of your ship structures, they'd be more stable in the water. But humans can't breathe helium, so contrary to popular belief, I know, and the squeaky voices, you can't really breathe helium. Uh, so that's kind of not an option in real life. But this is a video game, and we're robot boys, so no worries at all. Yep. Okay, there we go. And then we're gonna do the 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that's wide enough. All right, and we're gonna fit autofill. There we go. Sub object or prefab modes. There we go. Oh, do I have these the right way around? Oh no, I want those pumps this way. Aja. Okay. Here's the fun thing. You press shift, boom, replaced. No, replaced. Okay. We're gonna have to do it this way then. It only works, I guess, with the pipe. Okay, remove that. Boom. Blocks. The truss block. Boom. And 3 meter. Kaboom. Perfect. Now for sub objects. Yeah, 1 axis turret. Boom. And boom. Done. Yeah, this has so much stone that EMP is going to be kind of pointless against it. There's some wood on it for some flotation. Not that it really needs it. It really doesn't need it. Look at all that space. Look at all this space. This thing's beautiful. It's big, beautiful. Oh god. I messed up again. Oh. Oh, I gotta go up one. There we go. And dunk. There we go. Perfect. There is our bad battery of cram cannons. They have a few hit points, so lasers and things can probably take them out, you know, being anti-crams. But my secondary system should hopefully make up for their lack of firepower. What's the price of this so far? Only about 6K so far. It's doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Considering the amount of heavy armor I have in this, it's pretty good so far. I don't have the superstructure yet, but I have its main battery of cannons. Nice little battleship. Now, I'm thinking we're going to want some missiles. Short range magnetic bombs. Do we want magnetic bombs on this thing? do we want to get close enough to be able to use magnetic bombs? Porcupine torpedo launcher. You know, the torpedo launcher might be fun. So let's build out the deck a little bit more. Let's remove that, remove this, and remove that, I think. That should do it. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, it's gonna be weird transitioning that to this here. I know they're super far away, these guns, but I should be able to put more weapon systems on here. Yeah, prefab for fun. Let's look at blocks. It's got a weapon controller in here. Oh, resources. We definitely want some resources on this thing. Boom. B. Okay, where's the center? There's the center. Bunk. There's ammo box 1. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put ammo. This is gonna be. So many people are gonna be so confused by me doing this. They're gonna be like, "Why are you putting ammo boxes directly underneath your turrets?" Because why not? They're gonna be heavily armored either way, so might as well put them down there. I could put a bunch of stone around them, some heavy armor, little wedges for fun, maybe some truss blocks, and some applique armor, just kind of like the shell of this thing. And I should have plenty of ammo for this gun. And if I lose one ammo storage thing, I'll have plenty of other ammo storage crates other places. So should hopefully be able to maintain it. I'll also have like a larger cache probably in the middle somewhere, but you know, here's a little sippy pot for the weapons so that they can keep functioning even if the main ammo storage gets destroyed. Kind of like the self-contained ammo idea, except for in this case it's going to be underneath the gun, the turret, maybe. Let's go sub objects. Let's grab this one, maybe, and then we'll delete, and we'll just grab. There we go. Boom, boom, done. Let's do this one. That looks centered. Done. Go all the way down here. Centered. Done. All right. Now we exit there. We should have all of our little ammo and control systems in place. These torpedoes, what are they? They have torpedo sonar, explosive warheads, ballast tanks, fuel tanks, fins, and torpedo. Now that's kind of cool. Now, what I kind of would love to do, shaped charge head uses all immediate connected explosive warheads to blast a stream of superheated armor-piercing copper into the target. Laser designator, missile interceptor, shaped charged head. I might have, yeah, I think I'll have those ones be just regular torpedoes. They look like fun. Active detective range 270 meters, passive detective range in water 860.7 meters. Yeah, the the passive radar and passive sonar are really what you want for dealing with munitions, if I remember correctly. Let's look at AI detections. Meh. Because I believe so these are within a range factor of 50%. Okay, maybe not. Detect missile radar buoys and missiles active radar seekers. Yeah. So this one's full. Yeah, so 50%. So if they 800, 400 meters. These are 25. So these all around things are terrible at detecting things. This is 50% for radar, or for this is 25%. Yeah, 50 and 50. But if you look at these guys, 100%, 100%. So yeah, missile propulsion within a range factor of 100%, 100%. These are only 50%. Underwater mines with a range factor, torpedoes and mines. This is 25. This is 50. So yeah, sonar, active sonar 90 and passive sonar are about the same. As far as detecting missiles and such. These things I don't know if they can target in tracker assignment. Okay. These are handy. Same with the rangefinder. Sonar is weird. Sonar is weird. That's all I gotta say. Missile sonar buoy useful. You just throw out a random missile and the torpedoes won't hit it. It's great. But you also want to be able to detect it and shoot it. So you want super cavitation. Yeah, super cavitation advanced cannons. I will probably put those on this ship. So probably some really simple ones. Just put them under there, just so I can shoot torpedoes and whatever else. I don't think mines can hit other mines. I'm pretty sure they can just hit ships. But there we go. So I'm gonna have some deck torpedoes. They're kind of out in the open and they get to get a lot of damage, but meh, whatever. I can have a bunch of those. It's gonna be kind of like a torpedo ship. I will have to build something here so that this, well, I can also restrain the targeting so that they can't shoot each other. Same with these guns. I wish there was a don't shoot here button. Whatever this thing is. I'll probably build up a structure here so that these won't hit each other. Hopefully. Just in case. I shouldn't get that close to anything, but just in case. So we got missiles. Got missiles in places. Blocks. Bug. And we'll turn on my mirrored mode. Oh, mirrored mode. Mirrored mode. Oh, shoot. Build. Mirrored. It's it's sometimes hard building ships. It can be super hard. Oh yeah, here we go. Boom. Yeah, that's what I was doing, right? Maybe. It's 1, 2, 3. Like so. 1, 2, 3. It's 2 away. And that's 2. Oh. 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 Give me a second. I gotta delete all of this now. There we go. Let me fix this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That should be the same width. Alright, there we go. Boom. Now we go to prefab mode. And we load prefab. Cannon surround. Yeah, we got it in the back. Cut a chunk. And then we grab the cannon. Simple cannon for surround. That's centered. Perfect. And there we go. Fixed. That was an easy fix. That was goofy of me. There we go. Done. Simple fix. Easy peasy. Oh. Nope. I messed it up. I messed it up again. Okay. There we go. That's the correct placement. I'll get there eventually. Just 500 years later. Ugh. Alright. You know, just for fun, let's slap some AI on this. Sure, Neurosmart, whatever. Just throw it in. Let's get some detection going. Just some random AI. Some radar trackers and some laser finders. No. Are those PID systems? I don't really need PID systems. There we go. Done. Okay. Now, spawn it in at 1,000. Let's turn off its guns. Make myself invincible, just in case. And just see how it does. That's a lot of damage. I probably hit something explosive, though. Oh, missiles! Missiles away! Woohoo! Oh, they got ones on them. Yeah, that does some pretty good damage. And cost 72,000. It's probably gonna be 100,000. Jay's Treehouse. Wow, yeah, you're pretty cheap. How about this? You're even cheaper. Jeez. I mean, you're not cheaper. You're more expensive, but cheaper. How long do you die? I like testing against crossbones. It's kind of fun. It's kind of like my go-to. The Jacob's Treehouse for smaller ships. I like to test on. For bigger things, I like to test on crossbones. Yeah, this thing has basically everything that I know in it. So hopefully it turns out to be a nice battleship eventually. You know, actually, I'm kind of curious. What's in here? How do they launch? Do they just launch normally? Just kind of drop out onto the... They do shoot. 200k damage. That's pretty good. We're getting there. The back tower fell off. That's always a good sign. And the fact that these fire so fast is kind of nice. Let's see. Let's see how he's doing. Okay, you missed entirely. Yeah. So these cannons, they don't do quite enough damage to make it through a lot of blocks, even though they have a bunch of kinetic bits. They can only travel, you know, a few blocks in before they explode, which means their explosive damage is kind of better. Like, they do pretty good. That's only 3 of them firing so far. That one seemed to have missed everything, so I don't know what they're prioritizing right now. Just random stuff, it looks like. I might install a laser on this ship at some point, just for targeting, just to have it target AI stuff. Detection components, because if you can shoot off all their detection components, you can have a lot of success. Missiles are kind of dumb fire weapons, which are useful and simple to create, but you're not gonna, you know, they're not a scalpel. Advanced cannons are a scalpel. You want to use them to get rid of their detection or weapons. Mostly detection, maybe their engines. This thing should be about dead, because this thing's been pretty much hollowed out. Okay. Where am I? I'm gonna go jump down here and be hidden. Let's spawn in. Let's spawn in a crossbones, and I'll let it shoot just for funsies. Oh, hello. There we go. Let's see how it does. These torpedoes are not half bad. They're doing some damage. My volley is definitely not as strong as the crossbones. And it looks like their anti-air takes out a bunch of it. What are these? No, they're just... Are they like a single belt feed? It must be just a single belt feed, because they don't seem like they go very far. Are these fixed? No, those gotta move. They look pretty fixed though. They're kind of weird. Oh yeah, they do have broadside cannons and stuff. It's weird that they'd have guns just willy-nilly places like that. Here comes in the missiles and stuff. I'd probably be dead by now if I wasn't godly mode. I still haven't had built the outer ship. I just want to see how well the damage does against this thing. Not dead yet. I see. Man, this anti. Yeah, those are some AA guns. Yeah, they're Sea-Wiz AA guns. Not half bad though. There's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're all kind of centered around their superstructure. It's kind of good. This is a nifty trick. They got roll control up here in little fins. Looks pretty cool, doesn't it? They also have inside the superstructure here. They have helium pumps, like I was saying. Looks like they're getting shot out of the sky, some of them. Ooh, looks like a lot of them, actually. Oof! Oh, there's some hits. I mean, they don't... The crossbow's very susceptible to torpedoes. Let's just be honest here. If you want to take this thing out, just throw a bunch of torpedoes at it, and you're done. Actually, most of the Dawnswater guard? I don't know what that means. Eh. Oh gosh, can't see a thing. Ah, I hate this about this mode. But yeah, you can just throw a bunch of torpedoes at their stuff, and they don't really have any counter to it. Except for the airships. The airships, you know, they're airships. You can't really do anything about their airships. Okay, well, that's enough. Let's destroy enemy vehicle. All right, so I think I'll add more torpedoes. I will need a larger supply of ammo for the torpedoes, because man, do these look nice. I will definitely want some more torpedoes. Something that I don't normally use a lot of is torpedoes. Some torpedoes. Now I'm thinking of, should I do a laser AI or a laser system? It means I need a lot of energy. Some big fuel engines. I might use some jet engines. I like using jet engines for producing power because they're super efficient. It's super simple. Like, you want to make a very efficient jet engine. Where's the jet engines? Air. Here we go. Let's just, small intakes, small ducted intake. Why not? Let's throw one of those down. Air intake corner. And front duct. Perfect. Done. Take some compressors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 seems to be the magic number in this game. I don't know why. It might have something to do with multiplying to 64. Don't know. But basically anything, if you put 8 of it on there, it's going to be fairly effective. With cram cannons, you have about 8 packets. It has a fairly decent fire rate. I think 8 is also the amount of, it's 8 or 16 of the gauge increasers that for cram cannons you reach its max potential. Small jet generator, why not? Small jet controller, and you put a combustion, then you do a corner exhaust, then you put a small exhaust on it, boom, done. There we go. Add some fuel, resources. Where's some resources? Here we go. Some resources. The downside to these things is they don't work underwater. So you're going to have them vented up into open air for them to function, but they're extremely efficient. Material efficient. They're just thrust reserved for generator, 20%, right? Heck, let's do 100% for the generator. Generates power or energy. We have it generate energy. And then you have a big battery banks, or small battery banks placed everywhere, which also have electric motors on it that help, distribute where you're generating power, and you have reserves. It makes you more durable, having little reserves scattered around where they won't explode. Your resilience and things like that, because you're gonna lose propulsion and other stuff, and eventually, you don't need it all. But your laser systems will use them, right? So you can also have the electric motors on it, and it's backup power if needed. Put their priority low so that you're using most of the power from your main generators. But the electric engines are, nice on-demand energy. Let's give it a load. The defenses? Yeah, defenses. We'll just throw down a heat decoy and put it to what? We'll turn it back to power. There we go. Now it's going. Material use 0.25 per second. Generator 100%, so it does 4,053 power. Power per material 891. That's where you want to see like the number 891. Super high efficiency. You just has to be above water. Actually, I believe you could actually make these on sub objects. Let me just throw down a turret for fun. Air. Custom jet. You sure can. So you could potentially make a submarine with a periscope little jet engine thing for generating electricity very efficiently for resources. And then, store it as electricity, bring it back down when you get into combat. And when you're in combat, you don't generate all that energy. You just use your electrical power for thrust and such, and you could potentially be basically completely silent, especially if you use like what are these things? Water. And you also won't have the heat production because the heat production will be intermittent. You'd only produce power when you needed it, and then you could have enough energy storage that during a battle you wouldn't use up all your energy. So ion thrusters, if you didn't know, don't make noise underwater, so passive sonar isn't going to pick it up. And if you use a lot of rubber on the outside of your submarine, active sonar is going to have a harder time of detecting you as well. And then you can use supercavitating shells or missiles and stuff, and just have a lot of fun killing things as a submarine. But yeah, that's set to 1,000. Let's see what happens when it produces it, like get it going faster. Let's throw some more of these down. It says 4,000 power it can produce. Like, that's small. Like 4,000 power for that amount of blocks is ridiculous. right? Like, boom, done. Target power used, current power 56. Oh, only 56? 223. Oh. Apparently it can only go 223. That's weird. Oh, there we go. Right there. Power 223. That's not 4,000. 223 power. So, okay. It can be super efficient. 203% efficiency. Right? So your sustained loads are great on jet engines. Let's see a fuel engine here. Let's do 1 cylinder. Boom. Current power 15. Power per material 500. So boom. Now we're producing 100 and something power you can produce. Cool. We could put some superchargers on this bad boy for fun. Current power 100. So 100. Okay, maybe it's not block efficient. Okay, fuel engines are block efficient. There you go. There's 200. It's the same as this. Efficiency though, how much material per power? Power per material 402 compared to 891. So twice as efficient, but your impulse, your space efficiency is higher with these things. I think, yeah, much higher. I mean, they're probably fairly comparable. You can probably adjust them. Yeah. Okay. Done messing around with that and talking about this stuff. I'm going tangents like crazy for some reason. Like, you guys probably already know all this stuff. Probably completely. Okay. So, I might want a combination of jet engines and fuel engines in this beast. I think I should stop the video here for now. We've got the guns. They work. We've got some torpedoes. We could do some more. And maybe next time I'll have more of a ship. So let's save the vehicle. We're gonna start a nope, back. We're gonna ship point shoot. I don't know why. Let's do a new folder. Can we do a new folder? Let me see. Date. Most recent. Okay. Well, yeah. Okay. Let's name this. What should we name this? It's mostly stone. Let's call it Pyrite because, you know, fool's gold. Also a ore for making iron or steel. It is a very simple pyrite. That's what, because it's stone and metal mostly. So Pyrite. Your name Pyrite. Save new vehicle as Pyrite. Perfect. It's the geologist vehicle. We'll work on the Pyrite some more. We'll change the color scheming at some point because, man, stone has the weirdest glare. Like, the stone in this game must be made of friggin' quartz. It's all quartz because it's shiny as heck. It's so bothersome. Like, no, nothing else in the game is that shiny. Like, here's a chunk of metal. Look at how unshiny it is compared to the metal or the blocks. Oh my gosh. That not shiny. Like, it's just so bad. Like, they should really change stone into something not so yellow, really. Give it some grayer tones would be great. Like the texture is great on these, awesome texture, but like the bloom effect on this is terrible. That's why most people probably don't like building with stone, is because it's just such a bad color. You can fix it with the colors and stuff. I know, but it'd be nice if it wasn't yellow. Like it looks like yellow brick. I've seen yellow brick houses in real life, and they're definitely not this shiny. It's quartz yellow brick. That's what I think it is. It's quartz yellow brick. It's bricks with quartz in it that so it's shiny. Uh, and if you didn't know, yellow bricks are not very durable in freeze thaw conditions. Just for your information. Anyways, this is going to be my little pyrite build, and I hope you guys have a great time. I hope that you get to spend time with family and loved ones and friends, over the weekend, and just have a good time. Maybe get to play some video games with friends. Maybe you get to play some From the Depths and build your own crazy craft. This doesn't look like much right now. The pyrite will be a lot bigger. I'm hoping for it to be around the cost of the crossbones, because that's a good starting point for me. What's the crossbones? The crossbones is 245. So I'm hoping to get this around that area, that cost point, with all of its weapon systems and such. And hopefully it'll be pretty interesting. Hopefully next time maybe I'll make some super cavitation. Yeah, some super cavitation stuff. Wow, I don't remember what it's called. Brain dead. You guys probably understand that, and your brain just dies. Super cavitation advance cannons. Yes. So hopefully that's what I'll do next time, is make some advanced cannons for this build. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and have a great day. Love you all. Good Storms out.